Hello and welcome! Silrace here with another episode of Ace Time. And this Ace Time, we're going to talk about unlocking rage. Essentially progression systems across multiple genres of games. So, quick introduction to anyone who has not watched my previous Ace Time videos. So this is a series where I talk about general concepts and other generic things when it comes to video games, and well, other types of games too. And I'm not talking anything about the footage going on background in the screen you are watching. So if you are just want to see some gameplay, you might want to mute the video and just watch the gameplay, otherwise you will have to listen to me talking about the stuff which is not happening on the screen. Now, progression systems. That's something I like to talk about, because some of it annoys the heck out of me, because I feel that many times, many cases these days, we are going backwards or staying entirely still, as in the progression systems are really stagnant in many games. Diablo is a good example of this, at least in my honest opinion, and Torchlight 2 comes into play as well if you prefer that. Like, if you look at Diablo 3 and compare it to Diablo 2, there is, for example, no real reason to ever play same class twice in Diablo 3. In Diablo 2, you spend points on attributes, on the stats, and points on the abilities. You could technically sink all of your points into, for example, just the fire spells as a wizard in Diablo 2. Or sorcerer, rather, sorceress. Anyway, in Diablo 3, when you play a wizard, you always unlock same ability at the same level. So playing the same class twice for the leveling progression is exactly the same. Only thing differing is the damn loot you get, in which case you might just as well play a different class. Whereas in Diablo 2 you could play two sorceresses and do them entirely differently for the whole leveling progress, from beginning to end, depending how you spend your attributes and your ability points. I just feel this is so very backwards when it comes to Diablo 3. Granted, I believe Diablo 3 is overall a better game. As controversial as some people may find that freaking thing, I believe it has more content going for it these days now. Even though I didn't really like the auction house, but it's being done away now as well. Finally. Anyway, I believe Diablo 3 is a better game overall. However, it's the progression system which this whole progression system I was talking about, which they could have kept the same, or done even better version of spending your abilities and attributes instead of just handing you the ability of, oh, hit level 17 and we give you this ability. I don't know. Next thing, let's talk about first-person shooters, because that's another genre where it seems like everything is always very stagnant. Titanfall just came out and it basically just copied the Call of Duty, progression system. Blam, done. Yes, we didn't want to invent anything more interesting. Okay, sorry, I am really biased against the whole freaking Call of Duty style progression system. What am I talking about? Well, let's go into some details about it then. So, progression system where firstly, you have these default loadouts and you have to hit certain level before you can customize your own. This is a concept I can never get behind. Players are not stupid, okay? They can make their own choices in regards of what gun to use and whatnot from level 1. They don't need to hit level 5 or level 10 or level freaking 150 before they can make choices. Whatever. Let's ignore that bit. Let's talk about the actual progression model for Titanfall. So, you hit level X and you get gun X, then you have to still use the gun X to get all the attachments for it. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why can you not do, well, Black Ops 2 did. Why can you not do like you know, unlock token system? PlanetSide 2 does it as well. I don't get it. In PlanetSide 2 you can do whatever the heck you want, whatever the heck you like. You can run around healing people as a medic and then spend your certifications to unlock the C4 explosives for your engineer class. Because that makes sense, right? You can do whatever the heck is needed for the game mode, for the map, for the situation, and still get rewarded for it for your preferred playstyle. And the Call of Duty and Battlefield 4 model does not do that at all. You're basically stuck into a game with, firstly with the default loadouts, not one you can customize for the game mode you would like to play. Let's say Last Titan Standing or Hardpoint or, well, Hardpoint Domination or what have you, whichever game mode you happen to prefer. You can customize your loadouts from the beginning. And in Titanfall even did it the entirely wrong way. Like, the default loadout gives you a carbine, for example, with the HCOG scope. But when you actually unlock custom loadouts, you have to still use the gun with the iron sight to unlock the HCOG scope. At least Battlefield 4 did that much better with the default weapons, but it had more weapons in general, but that's beside the point, right? So this is the sort of progression systems I can never get behind at all, because it's like, well, I would like to use a sniper rifle, but I have to first hit what level to actually unlock a sniper rifle? Wait, what? Why? Battlefield 4 with its classes at least gave you a sniper rifle from the beginning thanks to the recon. But in Call of Duty style, with the Titanfall is following, you have to hit certain level to unlock the DMR. And then the semi-auto, and then you have the freaking Krabber AP sniper rifle at the end as well. So I feel shooters are really stagnant these days. Partially because, well, okay, let's just say that they want to copy whatever was done before and not innovate at all, which is absolutely stupid to me. And why people are paying money for these games, even though they are just copy-paste of the very basics of the functionalities as well. I don't know. PlanetSide 2 does it so much better. I am so happy about that. Because I would like to be able to use whatever is needed for the situation and then use the points gained from that to actually, you know, unlock the stuff I would like to play with. So just imagine in Battlefield if you could, you know, run around as an engineer to destroy tanks, and then you gain points by doing that to actually unlock guns for your tank, because you would like to play in a tank, but you cannot because, well, no one is destroying the hostile tanks and all your side's tanks gets shredded all the damn time by the enemy tanks. A good example to throw out there. So yeah, I'm hoping to see some change when it comes to shooter progression systems. Sometime soon, hopefully. Anyway, let's move on to a different kind of a game, huh? Let's talk about MMORPGs. So frankly, original MMORPGs, well, I'll use EverQuest as an example, but even though there was Ultima Online and there were mods before and so on, but I'll use EverQuest as the original, where a lot of stuff was copied from. World of Warcraft basically copied EverQuest originally, so on. Stuff was given to you at certain level ranges. It's like you hit level X and you get big heal. You already had the small heal, but you hit the level X and you get the big heal. Or stuff like that. I mentioned that in the future of MMORPGs stuff anyways already. But the progression systems have, at least for MMORPGs, have changed slightly these days, thankfully. Like they have added the whole talent systems in with World of Warcraft, and other games have done other stuff too. The crafting skill progression systems have seen some updates over the years, but not crazy much. Thankfully, Elder Scrolls Online seems to be heading in the right direction of being, well, allowing you to choose what you want to unlock. It's like, finally, goddamn thank you. Because games previously have just copied the same old hit level X and you get ability X system, which is frankly outright boring and really, really annoying. Now let's talk about progression systems quickly from the point of view of a new player, which is a good way to show what is wrong with, for example, well, essentially the first-person shooter category genre the most. Imagine coming into a, let's say, what can we use as a really good example? Imagine coming into a Battlefield as a brand new player, Battlefield 4. You've never played a Battlefield before, you've probably never played a shooter before, so you run around and whatnot and trying to figure the game out. And then you unlock a new weapon and you're like, oh, I'll use that. But you have to actually get kills with the weapon to unlock the scope for the weapon. Everyone knows FAMAS from Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, how bad those iron sights are. Oh my word, they are bad. So you run around with the FAMAS trying to get kills against people who have played for ages. They have map knowledge, they have the unlocks already, and so on. So basically new player is penalized heavily in these kind of linear progression style games, such as, well, it shows the best out of like a shooter genre of games with the this kind of a progression system, okay? Because when you are trying to get kills with iron sights and you don't know the maps, you are not good at shooters to begin with, and you come across people who have the scopes, who have all that stuff, getting those kills is much harder, right? Because you can see the target as well with the iron sights. You don't have like compensators and grips and other things to help with your recoil management or whatnot, or you don't have laser sight to aid with your hip fire accuracy yet, but the other guy does. These kind of things absolutely ruin games for newer players, because not only are you getting dominated on the skill level, as in you don't know what routes people can take to flank you, but you also are dominated simply by lacking the freaking unlocks. Okay, it doesn't make that big of a difference, some people will say, but have you tried using FAMAS with the iron sights? Like for hours and hours upon end? Just try it for the fun of it, eh? In Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3 as well. It is outright bad. Obviously that's on the worst of the curve, and you can use other guns which have better iron sights, but if you want unlocks for the FAMAS, you will have to use the iron sights on the FAMAS for the first 10 kills at least. Hopefully you could see my point here. I am hoping this changes, and I'm hoping more developers in the near future are willing to explore, to innovate, to make changes to these things. Don't just give us what was already done before, give us new things. Innovate. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this rant was worth your time to watch. It was a bit of a ramble and a rant and whatnot. But hopefully we can get some progress on the progression systems in the future. As said, thank you very much for watching.